law. Use this word with caution. Laws do not necessarily produce justice.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, that's a flat statement. That's either true or false. Laws, there are a lot of laws, but laws change. But justice remains the same. Now, you can put that slogan into your mind. Laws change, but justice remains the same. Now, a law is what? Anything that people do is a law. I mean, you know, when you do it, and people do different things. So that doesn't necessarily mean that justice is being produced.
Okay.
Because you have to have, then you go to the definition of justice. A law really is anything that is done. Anything that is done is a law. If you pick up a pencil, that's the law of picking up a pencil. If you're driving a car, that's the law of driving a car, because there are certain laws that govern driving a car. Now, I'm not talking about traffic stops and all like that. I'm talking about just driving the car. That's a law. It's a law. Anything that is done by a squirrel, by a bird, is a law. Why? The bird is doing it. The squirrel is doing it. But justice is balance between people, which means what? Guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. Now, that's an absolute. But laws do not necessarily produce justice.
Okay.
Laws, which is that which is done, either will produce justice or they will not. You can have laws that don't produce justice at all. It does just the opposite. It works against justice. That's why, you know, when they had laws that said that, you know, black people sat on the back of the bus, was that justice? Well, people would say that, well, it's the law. So laws are associated with justice. So if you say that something is a law, you automatically got justice. No, you don't. That's why we had to have a compensatory definition, which is what I came up with one that I think will stand the test of time in the 1990s. I came up with one in the 1980s, balance between people, but that was very thin. That was weak. What do you mean, balance between people? What does that mean? But later on, in the early 1990s, I said I have to put some flesh on those bones of balance between people. So I came up with one that I think will stand the test of time, and if anybody comes up with one better, I will adopt it.
Yes. Because
we need a concise, razor-sharp definition for the word justice. And that is, I came up with one in the two parts that we have, that I present in the textbook for victims of racism and on all the programs. Justice is guaranteeing that no person is mistreated at any time in any area of activity, and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help.
Yes.
And having given it that definition, that's a huge goal to strive for, because justice, according to all the evidence, does not exist anywhere in the known universe.
Known universe, yes.
Right this minute in 2018, because justice exists. Doing justice requires the cooperation of the persons who are powerful enough to do what is necessary to produce it. Now, who are the persons who are powerful enough right this minute on the planet when it comes to the subject of racism to do justice, or when it comes to any other subject? They are, unfortunately, people who practice racism.
Racism, yes.
They are the most powerful people on the planet. Those white people, not talking about all white people, I want to emphasize that, but those white people who have chosen to participate in the practice of racism, which is white supremacy, are the smartest and most powerful people on the planet Earth in the year 2018. Now, that statement is either true or false. I say it's true based on what? Based on evidence. And they are in position. The people who are powerful enough to practice justice or non-justice, or the people who believe in and who practice white supremacy. And you're going to have their cooperation if you're going to get it right now, because they're the most powerful people. You have to have their cooperation, or they have to go, and in the process, in order to have their cooperation, they have to go out of business as white supremacists.
Okay.
So that's what makes the task so difficult.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Because they're the most smartest, most powerful people on the planet. So we have to come up with a code that will change that situation.
Okay.
Either by persuading them to change, or, logically speaking, by we have an all-out war in which they are the losers, or they exterminate all of the people that they have under them right now. Because if the white supremacists decide to get rid of all the non-white people on the planet by killing us, they are powerful enough to do it, according to all the evidence, right this minute. And then they'll have the whole universe to themselves. Mm-hmm. All right? But they won't have white supremacy, because white supremacy will have gone out of business, because it's just like you're not in the poultry business, killing chickens for people to eat, unless you got chickens. I mean, that's just self-evident logic. If you're running a poultry business and you raise chickens, you feed them, you house them, you see to it that they are healthy, then you kill them and you eat them. But if you kill them and eat all of them and all of their eggs, what will you not have? You will not have a poultry business anymore. So it's the same with the system of white supremacy. And why did I interject that? It's because some black people say that the white supremacists are aiming to kill all of the black people on the planet. Well, if they kill all the black people, all of the non-white people, shades of black people, black, brown, red, yellow, and have nothing but white people left on the planet, they'll be out of the business of white supremacists, because there are no non-white people in existence. We'll be gone. Now, people have asked me about that. Well, what if they're planning to do that? I say, so what? You keep planning on putting them out of business as white supremacists, and replace that system with a system of justice, so that no people, non-white people or white people, are mistreated, and all of them, white and non-white, get the constructive help, underline the word constructive, that all people should have, which is how, logically speaking, it should have been in the first place.
Okay.
Before racism was ever invented. Okay. But if the white supremacists decide right today and announce they're going to kill all of the non-white people on the planet, what should the codified response be? Go to it. Do it. Why? Because you tell them to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. They'll say, if we go ahead and do it, you'll be gone. I say, well, that's right. If you do it, because you got the muscle to do it. But you won't be fighting us. You'll be fighting whatever put us here.